If you are watching this, that means only one thing. I'm in a found footage movie. Shaky. There's something evil in this house. Something possessing pure evil. I have my weapon. Yeah, it's an umbrella, yeah. But I know one thing though, one piece of advice. If there's something weird and it don't look good, who are you gonna call?
If there's something strange in your neighborhood, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! If there's something weird and it don't look good, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! All we are is entertainment, caught up in our own derangement. Tell us what to say and what to do. All we are pretty faces, picture perfect bottle rings.
Hey everyone, Jay from Media Award. Here to give my review on VHS, the latest found footage movie that's got everyone really excited, really hyped up, bloody disgusting. I've been talking about this movie for a very long time. I'm sure we've all seen the trailers by now. Looks very interesting, looks very groundbreaking in the found footage genre. I've not too long just watched it, and yeah, there's some interesting things I want to talk about, lots of things to address, and well, you know, trouble is with these movies, they can be hyped up a bit too much, and I think Blue Disgusting have done it a little bit too much, maybe. But yeah, I want to give my review on it, and I'm going to do it in a slightly different way than I usually have before, considering the style of this movie and the way it is done. So I'm going to be talking about 6 different stories within this movie. Of course, it is VHS, so they do watch VHS tapes. So I will be talking about 6 different stories and how they kind of all link in, and how they kind of pace the film and act the film, and the directors and the writers and stuff, etc, etc. So I'm going to give you my review on VHS. I'm going to be talking about the storyline, about the characters, the genre, and anything else that's important to mention. I'm talking about this movie. It's going to be a minor spoiler review. I'm not going to give away any of the main twists. I might mention a couple of things there and there kind of thing, but nothing huge is going to ruin the movie or anything. One also thing, I'm not going to show any of the trailer footage. I recommend you stay away from the trailer. It does ruin the movie in a sense. They show us a lot of the best points within the trailer. It's a little disappointing in fairness, but I'm going to talk about that a bit more into the actual review. So stay away from the trailer, and hopefully you enjoy this movie. I'm going to give you a bit of a heads up. You know, there's some things I want to address here, a lot of things that were good about the movie, a lot of things that were kind of okay, I suppose, but a lot of things to talk about. So let's talk about VHS. Okay, so 6 different storylines within this movie. 5 of them on VHS tapes, and the 6th one focuses on our main kind of thieves, our kind of main characters that kind of watches the tapes and kind of see it through their kind of point of view in a sense. Okay, so the movie opens in typical found footage style. We get shaky cam, we get like glitches, we get like of course a person handholding the camera, and we kind of open up with these kind of guys, these kind of douchey guys. I think there's about 4 or 5 of them. I'm not 100%, but you know, you obviously the douchey. You know, you're deliberately not meant to like him. I think that was the intention of the director who did that kind of plotline storyline. We see them, you know, in a car park, and they spot a girl. And what do? They all jump out the cars, and they basically hold her down in a sense. They're gonna flash her tits and stuff and whatnot. I think that what they said in the actual, they're kind of like in the first kind of 20 minutes, they get paid to do that in a sense. They get paid like $50 to record it, to upload it to a kind of like a porn site, whatnot. So you know, they're kind of douchey characters. They all swear. They all kind of, and you see footage, you know, when they were younger, you know, smashing windows and stuff, smashing cars and whatnot. So you're deliberately not meant to like these characters, and you know, it's just not very good as a main kind of movie to open up that kind of thing. It gives you an unsatisfying feel, I suppose. But end of the day, you know, it's not mainly focused upon them. You know, there's 5 different storylines, so you just kind of introduce these characters. You're not meant to like them. Guys get paid to go into this old guy's house and steal this very specific VHS tape, and they go in, and it's a very deserted house. There's no furniture. They go upstairs and they find this room. This room has a lot of TVs, VHS tapes and stuff all over the place, and they don't know which one's the one they need to steal. So some of them go downstairs in the basement, they look for the tapes, and there's like a lower pile down there, and you know, they start to watch some of the tapes, of course, and that's when it introduces our kind of 5 storylines. Each kind of tape has a different kind of plot, a different kind of storyline, and that's why our kind of movie kind of forwards a little bit more into it. So our first VHS tape is we opens up to these kind of college guys. I'm assuming some sort of spring break, or maybe some sort of holiday, or maybe just a simple night out. Not really sure, to be honest. And being this is a found footage movie, they kind of play upon the kind of cameras and the technical sides of it. Quite interesting, really impressively well done, I have to admit. And they decide to put the camera and the mic within the actual glasses. So we see this kind of guy looking at the mirror, and he's got the glasses on, and he's kind of like, we're seeing kind of the filming aspects of it through his kind of point of view, his kind of actualized point of view. Quite clever, in all fairness, I have to admit that, to be honest. And they go out, they're drinking quite a bit, they find some couple of girls, they bring back to their apartment or their flat or whatnot, and I'm not going to say more than that because it kind of ruins it. Basically, the first short story, the first VHS story, is a cross between Species and Slice. Yeah, so if you've seen those movies and you know what happens within those movies, you're going to get a good idea what happens within that first VHS tape. Yeah, there's a lot of nudity in it, quite surprisingly. There's some pretty nasty scenes, some pretty bloody scenes, which is not nice. It's an overall okay kind of first VHS tape story, I suppose. It's nothing mind-blowing. It's interestingly enough, it's, the characters were okay, typical stereotypes, we were drunk off our ass type thing, all that type of stuff. And it ends quite well, to be honest. The ending is interesting. I like the ending, so not a bad kind of first tape storyline. So overall, not too bad in that one. Back to our thief is watching the VHS tapes, takes one out, puts another one back in, of course, and we start our second storyline. Second one is probably the most disappointing out of the entire movie, I think. That's personal preference. I thought the build-up was just very disappointing, and I didn't like the twist. I thought it was like, really? It didn't make much sense, to be perfectly honest. I didn't like it. And I feel sorry for what happens to one of the characters within that kind of short story. We see these kind of like, I suppose I don't know, newlyweds, I think they are, or they're just kind of a couple that's kind of like touring the places and just, taking pictures, looking at, and, the kind of twist ending doesn't make much sense. I don't really get it. It's just like, have I missed something here, I'm assuming it's because of what happens earlier on in that kind of short story, in a sense. It's basically like an alternative version of Big. What happens to that fortune box told Tom Hanks something a little different kind of thing, it's kind of like that. But yeah, second storyline I thought was the weakest, and then the movie, didn't like it. It's very easily skippable. The build-up was just disappointing, I thought. That's personal preference. I'm not going to say what it is. Just, you'll see if you choose to watch it. So, yeah, I think overall it's a bit bullshit. Acting was a bit dull. It's a bit slow. The found footage elements to it is nothing new. I've seen it before in other movies. It's nothing original. It's basic, I guess. So disappointing the second storyline is. So yeah, of course we got a third one. Of course, every time we get a different VHS tape, we always go back to the thieves, and we don't really see much of them, to be honest. We just see like a couple of dialogue now and again because I'm going to put another VHS tape in. So the third storyline within this one is set within the woods. It's kind of like a woods type theme, and it is fucking awesome. I love the third one. The third one, storyline VHS tape, is my personal favourite. I really love it. I thought it was really interesting, really gripping, and I would love to do a feature film based upon that. Really well done. It's quite a short one, but that's what it's meant to be. It's short and snappy, and it gives you enough character development, gives you enough kind of background storyline in the first, 15 minutes maybe? I'm not 100%, I wasn't really timing it, but it was really gripping, and when it finished, I wanted to see more of that. The storyline was really clever, and I really like the idea of that kind of in the woods type thing. Of course, we got like 4 characters, 2 girls, 2 guys, typical kind of what should I say, mid-20s kind of college guys going out, woo kind of thing. And of course, there's something happened within the woods. I'm not going to say spoilers wise, but just in case wise, but something happened in that, of course, and it's actually quite interesting, I have to admit. And the dialogue, really fantastic. I like the rest of the camera work. The camera work was amazing. It's kind of like a glitchy serial killer in a sense, kind of like an unworldly kind of paranormal glitchy serial killer in a sense. Very interesting. I like the dialogue. I like the pacing of it. I like the characters, that because what happens to them and stuff. Very, very entertaining, very interesting. That was a very clever found footage short story, personal favourite. So that's a good payoff considering the first two were quite weak. And I thought, the first one was good, but could have been better. Second one I thought was crap. Third one, my personal favourite. Really enjoyed it, and I think from them it kind of builds up, gets a bit more interesting, and kind of grips you a bit more, and it kind of builds up a bit more there. So very good, very good. Fourth storyline, I'm going to get straight to it. Is kind of a Skype chat, I suppose, kind of a web chat kind of storyline. Very interesting, also very intriguing, kind of creepy. We see this kind of guy and of course a girl, and they're kind of talking. Like I think they're kind of like boyfriend and girlfriend in a sense, or kind of flirting and whatnot. And some creepy stuff going on in the girl's house, and she's there's things going on, creepy noises and stuff. And I'm not going to say much more than that because I don't want to ruin the twist. But the twist is very, very good, and the idea of it is actually interesting. And we get some very interesting scenes, very interesting kind of playouts, and the characters I thought were well acted, and they did a really good job. I like the idea of this kind of. The entire kind of that short story is done through basically a webcam. Very interesting, and I like the ending. Interesting is kind of like the plot thickens kind of thing. The twist is very good. I like to see. I like to see more of that. In all fairness, I would like to see maybe a found footage movie based upon the entire like that. Very interesting. I like that a lot. So that's another plus good one. So good stuff. Fifth storyline, which is kind of I suppose the last one in the VHS tapes, is a kind of haunted house one. It's set on the 31st of October, Halloween, of course. And of course, a couple of guys they get dressed up, pirates. One's a commander, one's a bear. And the found footage in that one is actually quite interesting. Also, they put a kind of camera within the top of the hat, because he's wearing a bear costume. He puts it on top of the hat. It's kind of like a nanny cam type thing. Quite interesting use of found footage, camera work. I like the idea of that. The characters in this one I thought a lot more likable, kind of wrong place, wrong time kind of thing. They go out to this house because I'm assuming there used to be parties there quite often, and it's basically a deserted house in a sense. And lights are all on, and there's some creepy stuff. There's some really good creepy worker in that house, and they go in, they don't know what to expect, they don't know what's going on. They expect people to be there, and there's some very creepy scenes, very creepy stuff happens. So very like good shadow work, very impressive. I like the idea of that. I'm not going to ruin the twist in that, but very interesting. It turns a bit more into the plot thickens later on within that kind of short story. Very interesting. There's some special effects from that, which I thought, well, obviously special effects, but quite good to be honest, quite interesting. I got that kind of grave encounters feel to it. So if you've seen that movie, you might like it. Maybe better than Planet 2, I think. Much better. It's very snappy. There is actually a payoff in a sense, and there's some very interesting elements to it. I like that. I think that's my second favourite out of the movie. Very interesting. I like the ending also. Ending's kind of like ooh kind of thing. It's another one of those short movies I like to see and expand. I like to do maybe a feature film of that. Very interesting, like the idea of that. So it's another spot one on, good one. And of course that's the last VHS tape. And of course the last one is the kind of like the main kind of plot with the thieves and stuff. I'm not going to ruin what happens to them, whatnot, or what happens within it. It's kind of like another I don't know, maybe kind of like a monster type one. Quite interesting, The 6 storylines, I thought 2 were quite weak. The rest had their own kind of charms, their own individual kind of take upon the found footage genres. So a bit of a mixed bag here, something for everyone, I suppose, with the twists and the ideas put into it. Not too bad overall. I actually quite enjoyed this movie. I thought it was hyped a bit too much, and the trailer did ruin some of the things that happened within the movie. But I did actually enjoy it. It's quite an interesting movie, and it's not for everyone. I think this is a very specific audience. I think the movie is definitely targeted at found footage fans. So if you're a fan of that style, fan of that kind of shaky cam kind of elements, then you will probably like this more, I think. For people that don't usually watch it, I don't know. I can't really tell this movie. Some of the storylines in this movie, I think you might like and like the ideas of it. And I'm not a huge fan of footage one myself, so it's kind of hard to tell. I'd say check it out, see what you think. It's going to be not for everyone. I think some people are going to be disappointed, some people are going to hate it, some people are going to love it. I quite liked it. It has its problems in some areas, but overall I thought it was a very well done. I thought it was a well done movie. It tried to be very different, very, very creative. I just thought the fact that Bloody Disgusting kind of hyped up a bit too much, I think. Personal preference. So overall, direction work I thought was very well done. We have multiple directors in this movie. You know, the storylines I thought were interesting, very engaging. The kind of build up and the twists in some of them were very interesting. I like, especially like the third one, like the fifth one also, the haunted house and the kind of this kind of glitch serial killer. Very interesting, quite like it. Yeah, the characters were above average acting. You know, some were good, some were like really, but they're basically most of the guys and the girls in this one are basically all in the mid-20s. You know, you can kind of tell upon that. So the acting was not too bad, not awful, pretty good. You can keep watching. They're believable kind of actors in a sense. Like the found footage styles, like the different kind of try to be different ones. Of course, with some with the glasses, some with the nanny cams, some just straightforward kind of hold camera found footage style. So yeah, pretty good overall. I quite enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend a rental just to see what you think. I think it's definitely more than just a one-off watch. You need to watch it at least a couple of times to see if you truly do like it. I'm not sure if I would purchase it. I'll probably watch it again before maybe getting it on, on Blu-ray or DVD or something. It's quite a long film. It's a 2-hour movie. I thought it could be just a little bit shorter than that. It's a bit too long for a movie in a sense. I think it should be around about the hour and a half marker, I think. But it's a bit too long, I think, for a 2-hour movie. That's just my opinion. So that's my review on VHS. I hope you enjoyed watching this review and giving you a bit more information, a bit more of an insight, and a bit more what to expect within this movie. I would definitely recommend you go and watch it. It is a well done found footage movie, but keeping in mind it is done for that specific audience, that specific genre. So you might like it and might not at the end of the day. I would say stay clear of the trailer. It does ruin a lot of the kind of the twists and the kind of some of the good bits in the movie. If you have not watched the trailer, stay away from it. Just keeping in mind what I've said. Don't expect too much. It has been hyped a little bit too much, I think. But overall, a well done movie, and I think you will enjoy it. So that's Andrew from Media from Game TV, signing out.